So Monster Hunter Wilds has only been out for about a day now, and there's already some problems that the community has to fix for the developers, and we do have a response from the developers about these upcoming issues that a lot of people are having on PC. So it's quite frustrating for a lot of people. We're going to be getting into that. If you are having troubles on the PC version, for example, your performance is quite terrible. There are some fixes right now that a lot of people have made public to everyone over at Twitter, on Steam, and other platforms as well that we're going to be going over, and also seeing the responses that developers have been making. There was also a hotfix patch and a new update that has just dropped today, and we're going to be going over everything right now. Also, some future updates that are going to be dropping down the line in spring and summertime with some extra content like boss battles and more event quests. So they did tweet out saying, hunters, if you're experiencing any initial issues with Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam, please try updating your graphics driver, turning off compatibility mode, and then readjust your settings. Thank you all for your patience and support. Now, if you do click on that link, it kind of just takes you to a page basically giving you some ideas on what to do, but nothing really changed as much as the community fixes that we're going to be going over also on Steam. So basically on this page, you can see it right now. It's basically just telling you if the game doesn't run properly, you can go ahead and update graphics, drivers, updates in your DirectX to the latest version, and basically just changing some paths in the in your folders, in your game folders. But if that doesn't actually help you, I'll link this down in the description as well that you can go ahead and do. Remember, this is only for the Steam version. The console versions I think are pretty stable right now. So over on Steam, they did post this one right here, which a lot of people found helpful considering the comments and the upvotes for it. So there is actually a typo in the config file, which is quite weird. I'll be showing you what it looks like in a second. So someone said, has anyone else noticed in the config, I found mine to have the resolution spelled wrong on this line. Now you can see on the image right now, yeah, it actually is quite weird. It shouldn't be like that. So that little thing could actually have a major problem with the way that your game runs. So basically what they did say is fixing the misspelling gave me a performance boost from what I can tell. Go ahead and try that by changing what it does basically. So edit, also linking to Sonono's suggestion, this gave me a very nice boost as well, but make sure you switch your temps. It made my process attempt significantly higher, so between 50 to 70 C. Now also lower, they did say, interestingly, I found that changing these two lines actually helped me a lot with performance as well. The parallel build process account from to 16, and then the render work thread priority above normal, make sure that is enabled if it is disabled as well. That should give you a bigger boost in performance as well. So it does say first that was 8 before, and the second was false, and on initial, some may be threading oddities going on, but there is a big jump from the 13900K and RTX 3090 to being near to 60 most of the time with the LSS set to quality. So a lot of people are obviously having problems with that. Strangely enough, my graphics drivers aren't even updated and are pretty stable, like above 100 frames a second. So I'm not really having any problems on Steam right now, but a lot of people are, so that should help out if you are having those issues. Another tweet coming in from the developers over at Twitter saying the PS5 hotfix patch version 1.3 is now live, addressing the issues with the smithy and the grill and meal. Please make sure to update the latest version before your next play session. Now there was 2 links that we're going to be going over right now that basically takes you to the other problems that were going on as well. So for this one, the hunters, we are aware an issue occurrence for some players where the grill and meal and ingredient center features can't be unlocked, even through the progress criteria is met by the player, which is quite weird because the grill and meal is quite important. It gives you a lot of buffs, so that has already been fixed within like 24 hours of the game being released, so that's pretty good. Something a little bit different here that a lot of people are actually speaking about, and I thought this was going to be happening anyway, considering how popular the game was. There is over 1,200,000 players right now on Steam alone. That's probably doubled over on consoles as well. So yeah, a lot of people are definitely hyped for this game, and I can see why as well. Even though that the game is sitting around 1.4 million players in the last 24 hours, it is sitting at around 51 negative reviews right now, and that's purely when it comes to the performance issues on PC and consoles as well. Both are experiencing the same outcome, where the videos are going to be on the screen right now. Basically, the graphics are so bad that it's causing glitches throughout the map, even in cutscenes or when you're just roaming around the world. Now, these are also coming over from consoles, not just PC, even though the main focus of the developer notes was from PC. It seems like consoles are even having it worse when it comes to the graphics just being absolutely broken. You can see that the gameplay and cutscenes are just not working for some reason. Now obviously you can't really change the settings on console, so you just kind of have to wait for updates, whereas PC you can kind of change some of the configuration files, which we have already looked at, but that seems to not be really doing anything when it comes to the graphics glitches. Another big problem that the community has been talking about, and it's been a main focus already since the original Monster Hunter, like 5 years ago now, the multiplayer is kind of a big problem. The multiplayer never really worked in the first game anyway, and they were hoping for the next game to be alright when it comes to multiplayer and joining friends and basically overall multiplayer gameplay. That seems to be quite broken as well, alongside with the performance issues, considering that the original Monster Hunter had multiplayer problems, and we're seeing it again right now. It's the way that the multiplayer works in this game people aren't really a fan of. Obviously there have been many changes in this brand new game that a lot of people like, but considering the game has been in the works for a while and most games do kind of get away with the multiplayer not being that great, but this game is kind of focused on the multiplayer genre, so again it being broken is the reason why the reviews right now are below 50%, which is quite concerning considering the game is closing on like 1.5 million concurrent players on Steam. It's not looking too good for people that actually do want to play online. There is also going to be some free title update, and there is a roadmap for what's coming in the future. I think this is going to be coming around summertime and spring. We do have the first free title update, which is the Mitsutsun boss, I guess, and additional updates, and also some event quests that are going to be dropping out in spring, and that's going to be coming up very, very soon. Later down the line in summer, we do have a second free title update with an additional monster and some more event quests. And remember, these are free, so you don't have to really buy any DLCs or anything like that. This is just going to be rolling out, and there's probably going to be a bigger roadmap that's going to be coming out later on, and as soon as that does, yeah, there's going to be a video about that on the channel anyway. If you are brand new to Monster Hunter World like me and you don't really understand the weapons system or what really weapon or builds to go for, this is kind of a very new-ish weapon tier list rankings if you want to go over. I mean, you can pretty much play whatever you like, but if you really want to play something that's going to be meta down the line, or what is best right now and the most popular, right now in S tier, considered the best weapons is the bow, longsword, and sword and shield. Right now I'm actually running bow and longsword without even knowing they are the best. They just look like the best fight stance that I like. Then going into A tier, the hunting horn, hammer, greatsword, dual blades, insect, glaive, gun lance, and heavy bow gun seems pretty good. And then the worst guns apparently right now is the lance, charge blade, switch axe, and the light bow gun. For some reason people don't seem to like these kinds of playstyles, but that's completely up to you. In another tier list, dual blades were kind of S tier as well, but again it really depends on the playstyle that you want to go for. All of them have pretty good builds and they do a lot of damage anyway, so play however you like, but if you do want a tier list to kind of go over to make things a little bit easier, there you go. So that's pretty much it for the newest update that we've gotten from the developers and what's going on in the last 24 hours. Obviously, by the time the next update video comes out, which is most likely going to be during the week or by next week, we should have a brand new update that's going to probably fix a lot of the performance issues, because I mean, there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of roaming around this game, so I think the performance issues need to be fixed and the graphics issues need to be fixed as well. But that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, if there's going to be any more updates that do come out from the developers tonight or by the end of the week, they'll be on the channel anyway. So that is pretty much it for this one.